Okay, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honors and praises and glory to my Lord and Savior, whose name is Yahweh, by Sham Yahabashai, by Hasham Mahavakar Kwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, okay, that teaches truth well, okay, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the few, the very few brothers and sisters listening and learning. This lesson is going to be called Be Not Over Righteous. Okay, because a lot of individuals, they come into this truth and they find themselves being overzealous. And being zealous, okay, is that the right word? Zealous, yeah. That can cause you to be over righteous. Okay, doing things that you don't really need to do, being overboard. Okay, so we're going to start off with Proverbs. Let's start with Proverbs 11. And it says, a false balance, okay, is an abomination. So you need to have an equal balance. They call it equalizers, okay? Like, if, for example, you're listening to music. You don't want too much bass and you don't want too much treble. You want it just in the middle. And that's how you got to be in this truth. Everything's got to be done with balance. Even in the worldly sense, you eat too much meat, you're going to get sick. You eat too much vegetables, you're going to get gas. Okay? You pump too much weights. Guess what? Your body ain't going to recover. Everything is in balance. And it's the same with this truth. Sometimes you're going to be studying more than other times. Sometimes you're not going to be studying more than other times. Sometimes you're going to be, you may be watching a video more times. Sometimes you may be doing something else. Looking up words, it's all balance, all different variations in this truth. A false balance is an abomination. Okay? What's an abomination? An unclean thing which the Lord don't delight in. Bear me just a minute. Bear me just a minute. Known as an unrighteous thing. Something that the Lord don't like. That's what an abomination is. Okay? So a false balance is an abomination to the Lord Yahweh. So if you're one way, if you're just one way too far right, the Lord don't like that. You have to be in between. But a just weight is his delight. That's what the Lord deals in, a just weight, a just balance with everything you do. Okay? Everything. A just weight. Bear me just a minute. Bear me just a minute. Okay. So like I'm just messing with the blue letter Bible right now. Okay, so we're going to go into just weights. Because what would you have these just weights and the just measures? What would they use for? For weighing up gold, salt. Okay. And our people, the wicked of our people would defraud our neighbors. Okay, by what? By manipulating the weight. Okay, on the scales. Let's go to Proverbs 20. Proverbs 20. And we're going to go straight into... Bear me just a minute. Where are we going to go? We're going to go to 10. Diverse weights. Okay, let me just see if I got this here. Diverse weights. And diverse measures. Okay, both of them are alike abomination to the Lord Yahweh. So you got to be equal. And that goes for judgment. Why? Because our people, go into that word diverse. It's Shana. This is the Aramaic. Which is an offshoot of Hebrew. To be altered. Yeah, to alter. To change. And this is what our people are doing. When they were weighing up coins, money, silver. You had our people with unjust scales. Balances. Measurements. Okay? And why were they doing that? So they could defraud their neighbors. And the scriptures talk about that. To change, to be altered. Transform, to frustrate, altercation, to change. Okay? So even when it comes to judgment, you can't be altering nothing. You have to be just, a just measure and a just weight. Okay, not the diverse weights. Okay. So now we cleared that up. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes, because everything you want to do is in balance. Everything. And you don't want to be over righteous. Okay, you don't want to be pushing what you think in your mind. It's no good to have, it's not bad to have a suggestion. You may do something that works for you and you might suggest it to others. That's not bad. It's when you force your narrative on somebody else. That's when it becomes bad. Okay, because everybody's got a different spirit in this truth. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. We're going to go to 7 and 16. Be not righteous over much. Okay. Example of being over righteous. What's over righteous? Someone might want to, what's the word? Someone might want to drink a bottle of wine. Half a bottle of wine, should we say. Half a bottle of wine. You might be someone that can't do that, because it might affect you. So you don't want to be, you might be a guy that says, well, I don't do it, so you shouldn't do it, because the effects it had on me was quite bad. But if a brother's can do that and it don't affect him in this truth, okay, then you can't force that upon him. Some brothers like to go out. Some brothers are very, they need to be out a lot. Another brother might not go out as much. So because there's a brother that don't go out as much as that brother that goes out, the brother that goes out, he can't be saying to the brother, well, you should be out like me all the time. No, be not righteous over much. Okay, there's examples. There's many examples. Okay. We're gonna go to an example because the Pharisees came in that spirit, and you don't wanna be in that spirit. We're gonna go to Luke. Is it Luke? No, it's Mark. We're gonna go to Mark, and here's some examples, because they done the same thing to Yahushua. Okay, following the traditions of man. Because a lot of people, they're about the outer. Okay, and if they're about the outer, if they're carnal, they're going to be doing things in a carnal sense, because they think that's righteous. They're going to be doing things in a carnal sense, thinking it's righteous, when it ain't. It's just being over righteous. Okay, and you destroy yourself like that, and people ain't going to want to be around you, because you're going to be cherry picking everything that someone does. You don't want to be that guy. Let's go to Mark 7. Yeah, let's go to Mark 7. Then came together unto him the Pharisees. Not all Pharisees are wicked, okay? But the majority of them were. Because you had Pharisees that believed in Yahushua. And certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem, and when they saw some of his disciples eat bread with defiled, that is to say, with unwashing hands, okay? So they never washed their hands. They found fault. Why did they find fault? Because they were being over righteous. Okay? It's not going off to not wash your hands when you're eating. What are you supposed to? Yeah. If you're at work, if you've been doing some construction, there's no water around you, and you get some food and you put it in your mouth, if that's going off, see, that's being over righteous. Let's carry on. For the Pharisees and all the Jews, except they wash their hands, oft eat not, holding the tradition of the elders. Why? Because they were following the tradition of men, which is over righteous. Okay, it's in the law, but there's certain things, yeah, we do in the law, but you don't want to be over righteous, because you end up destroying yourself. Knowing they full well couldn't keep all the laws. So why would you do that? Because you're being over righteous. And when they come from the market, except they wash, they eat not. So in other words, they're saying, look, unless you wash your hands, you shouldn't be eating. And many other things there be, which they have received to hold as the washing of cups and pots and brazen vessels and tables. So they would do this, they would do all the outward stuff, washing the cups, making sure it was extra clean, the tables. It was all for show. It's all pretense. But that's not the thing. That's not going to save you, is it? Let's carry on. Then the Pharisees and the scribes asked him, why not the disciples, according to the tradition of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands? They're kind of accusing the disciples of not washing their hands, of not following tradition of elders. What was the tradition? We're going to go into tradition. Okay, tradition. A long established custom. So it's just a custom. It's a custom of what they would use, what they would do. Okay? Because yeah, the law does deal with being clean, cleanliness. Okay, but it's you don't want to be over righteous. Okay? Because the Lord does deal with that. What he does say we are a holy people unto himself. Okay, so yeah, you can understand it from that perspective, but you don't want to be over righteous. See, these Pharisees, they were over righteous, and some of the scribes and the high priests. Basically, they were trying to condemn them by the law. A long established custom or belief that has been passed on from one generation to another generation. So it was just passed on. It was a custom passed on and on and on. What is it? It's just a custom. It's a practice. It's a ritual. It's a ceremony. It's an observance. It's an observance. A routine. It's just a routine, So that's what they were doing. That's what tradition means. And they were trying to accuse the disciples of that. Okay, not doing that. Verse 6. He answered and said unto them, Yahushua, well, have Isaiah, which is Isaiah, prophesied of you hypocrites. Because they were hypocrites. There were people telling people to wash their hands, do this, do that, but they weren't keeping all the laws. So you're looking at somebody else trying to condemn them by a few things they do, but they damn sure weren't keeping the law. Okay? But he answered and said unto them, well, have Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites, because they were hypocrites. They were telling other people to do what they weren't doing. And as it is written, this people honoreth me with their lips. So they honor, they speak a good one, but their heart is far from me. So they speak, they act, they put on the outward appearance, but behind closed doors, a load of them were worshipping idols, doing their own thing. But their heart is far from me, which is their mind. How about in vain? Okay, because all these traditions, if you don't believe in Yahushua, especially if you don't believe in the Son of the Most High, all these things, you could do all these things, but it's in vain. Okay? How about in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men? For laying aside the commandment of the Most High, ye hold the tradition of men, which was a custom that was just passed down from their forefathers, as the washing of pots and cups. See, they would do all this fancy stuff. Okay? Pouring water on their hands and, all that. And a whole lot more. The phylacteries, they got bright, shiny garments. This is what they were doing. Okay? And as washing pots and cups and many other such things ye do. And he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandment of the Most High, that ye may keep your own tradition. They were more about keeping their own tradition. Esteeming themselves. Oh, look at me. We wash, look how clean the cups are. Look how clean the tables are. It was all about that outward appearance. But it didn't mean nothing if they didn't trust in Yahushua. So let's go back to where we were. So lucky, I kind of dragged on with that. We go to Ecclesiastes. That's why you don't want to be over righteous. Okay? Be not over righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Okay? You studying. That's why the scriptures say a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. You don't want to make yourself over wise. You want to be balanced. Okay? In this truth. Because it takes time. You need time to process what you've learned. Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? You can destroy yourself by actually doing too much studying. You can actually destroy yourself if you ain't processed what you've been reading, and that's why the scriptures say, with all that wisdom, get understanding. First of all, you need to understand what you're reading. Because if not, you're going to end up destroying yourself. Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? Be not overmuch wicked, neither be thou foolish. Because if you're overmuch wicked, well, guess what? You're going to die before your time. Because what does wickedness bring forth? Sin. What is sin? Transgression of the law. What does that bring forth? Death. Neither be thou foolish. Don't want to be foolish. Why should I die before their time? Because a load of foolish people in this world, they die before their time. Why? Because they do something foolish, which leads to their demise. Okay? So all these things were told for us. Why? To have balance. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 23. I hope this lesson's edifying. 1 Corinthians 10 and 23. But there's a flip side, because even though you may be doing particular things, if it's blocking, if you feel like it's blocking you from growing in the truth, then you may have to just cut that off. Because a lot of people will say, and this is what I've learned, a big lesson I've learned. A lot of people are saying, well, if I train for 2 hours, or if I eat this food for this long, sorry, if I eat this type of food, you know, some chicken and some rice, let's go to it. It's not going to affect me. It's not unlawful. But there's certain things that do affect your growth in this truth. So we're going to go to Corinthians 10. Bear me just a minute. Oh, bear me just a minute. Go to Ecclesiastes 10:23. Let's get into this. This is Ecclesiastes, 1 Corinthians 10 and 23. All things are lawful for me. So there's going to be things you're doing in this truth that are lawful. You might say to someone, and this is ignorance, well, it's not breaking the law. There's certain things you're doing that ain't breaking the law at all. Okay? But listen, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. You might like to eat chicken. If you eat too much chicken, that can affect the way you operate. Your mind starts getting clouded. You can't really think properly. This is true. I'm just speaking from experience. Okay, that's why I'm showing you. That's why I'm telling you this. Okay, you may jump on an Xbox, play Fight Night, but all right, it's not unlawful. But is it really expedient to this truth? Is it really going to help you grow in this truth? By the time you were on that, you could have been, I don't know, adding something to this truth, adding wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay? So let's go to this. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. Let's go into that word expedient. Let's go. Let's go, chap.
4851. Semphero.
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 Semphero. Hold on a minute. What's going on here? Sorry, it's the wrong word. Salakia about that. No, it is the right word. Salakia. Need to pay attention. Sorry, because I'm thinking about so much different scriptures. Yeah, it's let's go into that again. The word for expedient is semphero.
Strong's G 4851. Semphero.
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 So all things are lawful, but all things are not expedient. That word for expedient in the Greek is sapharo. Sapharo. So all things could be lawful. It doesn't matter. You could be drinking, like example, drinking wine. But if that messes you up, so this is the flip side to that balance. If it messes you up, if you know certain things are affecting you in the truth, that means it's not expedient. Let's go into the word expedient. To bear, to bring together, not profitable. It's not profitable. Okay. To collect or contribute. Is it contributing to this truth? Or is it weakening you in this truth? Is it halting you from this truth? Is it stopping you from growing in this truth? See, this is the flip side to the balance. Okay, you don't want to be over-righteous, but at the same time, because you're not over-righteous, don't mistake that from not excelling. And at the same time, you know what I'm saying? See, you need to find that balance. And part of that balance is knowing yourself. Knowing what throws you off the spirit. Or contribute in order to help. To be profitable. And this is what this truth is about, being profitable. Not just to yourself. Well, first to yourself. Because if you can't be profitable to yourself, how can you be profitable to any others? So to be profitable, not to ourselves and to others. And by that, you have to cut off certain things you may want to do. Okay, because all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. Okay, and that's the balance. And that really, you got to know yourself. I can't tell you what to actually do. I can help you with certain things that work for me. Okay, but that might not work for you. Okay, advantage for the better. So certain things you're gonna cut off in this truth in order to grow, to be more beneficial in this ministry. Okay. So let's shut off on this. 1 Corinthians 10 and 23. All things are lawful. So there's certain things, yeah, you can do. Okay, lawful for you, but all things are not expedient. Not everything's beneficial for this truth. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. Some things just don't edify. Okay, you need to know what edifies. Okay, so with this lesson, I really hope this was edifying. And shalom to the hopeful elect across the globe.